Hey guys, and welcome back to another Division video. Now today we will be looking at a build that I made focusing on the ability or exotic that is Bloody Knuckles. Now the talent for this one is Over the Top. Basically what this does is that when you do a melee attack or hit an enemy with a grenade, you get a 25% weapon damage bonus and a 100% bonus to melee damage. So I try to make a build focusing on this specific exotic item, and these are the items that I came up with. Now take a look, and you know, sometimes I watch a video and just want to see this. I use Foundry Bullwark with crit. I put crit chance and crit damage, and I try to max out crit. Right now it's like 57%, but yours might be higher if you get better rolls. That might be 60. The rest I put on crit damage. So this is very easy to make because Foundry Bullwark is always rolls with blue, so you just have to re-roll the secondary stat. For the holster, I used Forge just because this has like shield health. Alright, so there you go. You could take a look, copy it, try it out. But for those people that want further explanation on like why I chose these items, let's go. Let's start from the very top, which is Lady Death. Now Lady Death is a submachine gun exotic that has like this attachment at the bottom. It says here plus 500% melee damage. Now we're gonna be doing a lot of melee attacks because grenades are kind of hard to hit. I feel that doing melee attacks is a lot easier. Both are pretty hard. So that we could trigger Over the Top from Bloody Knuckles. Also, Lady Death has another talent, which is Breathe Free. When you're moving, you gain 4 stacks and 8 stacks if you're sprinting. Up to 32 stacks total. Each bullet gets a 75 damage increase. After killing an enemy, you get a 20% movement speed for 10 seconds. So, I would show this. I will zoom in. You can see that number 10 right there. If you move slowly, it increases. You can see there. If you're sprinting, it feels even faster. Now there's a icon there at the bottom. There's like 2 guns. That's the same thing. If you fire, it empties, right? So it's the same buff. It's a different one. It depends on like what you want to look at. But as you can see, while I'm sprinting, it's filling up. If I'm shooting, it's depleting, right? So yes, that's why I chose Lady Death, because it has like a 500% increase in melee damage attachment here. Also, after you get the buff, which makes you run faster, it's a lot easier to reach enemies and do a melee attack. Now, another thing, if we're gonna be doing melee attacks, we're gonna be exposing ourselves and you know, up in close range. So I figured that using a shield is good. Also, shield is good with SMGs because like you could like use your SMG with your shield, right? Like so. And take note that you actually fill up Lady Death's buff there, even with the shield up. You can see it there. Now you fill it up faster when you're moving and not aiming, like so. And also you could do a melee attack. Just you know, do your melee attack. Now what are the items that are good with shield? Forge gives you 50% shield health. Also Foundry Bullwark gives you a bonus here. Total armor, armor regen, and shield health. Now that is really good. That's like 100% bonus shield health. When you're using Firestarter, which is the specialization that I chose, you get a few more mods that are good, which is this one. Shield health 8%, active regeneration is 8%, and the last one is damage bonus per enemy inside this cone. You see here, there's a cone. If enemies are inside there, you get a damage bonus. Let's see if I miss anything. For the second skill, I use Reviver because you're tanky. I think having this Reviver has like really good value because when you die, you expose yourself in the middle of the fight, and it's inevitable. You're probably gonna die once in a while. It's good to have a Reviver there. For the secondary weapon and the handgun, you could use whatever. I chose the Firestarter default weapon. It is a shotgun, but I suggest that for your secondary weapon you bring something that is long range, because there are fights, for example Kajika in Pathway Park or that drone in Pentagon. You need to fight it in long range, so bring something like a rifle or a assault rifle or even a sniper rifle if you wanted to. But for me, I just I just use my FAMAS with Killer because we have like decent crit rate and we could crit a lot. Let's see here. Okay, I think that's it. For the playstyle, what I do is just I run, and it depends. Sometimes enemies are moving backwards, so what you end up doing is like chasing them and you're losing DPS, right? Because they're moving backwards and you're trying to catch them and you're slower with shield out, and you end up like losing like 3 seconds not doing anything. So what I do is I try to run as close as possible to the enemy and do a melee attack and then shoot. Sometimes if like the enemy is stationary or not looking at my direction, that isn't aware, you could like whip out your shield first and then do a melee attack and then just keep on moving while you're firing, so you can still get those stacks for Lady Death. Also, when in cover, keep on moving because you do get, even in cover like this, you still get some stacks on Lady Death. You could see there. But if the cover is a bit higher, not like the you don't need to crouch, what you could do is just sprint. It will fill Lady Death faster. Like instead of like doing this, right, you could just like go out and just sprint like this, wait for your armor to regenerate, and go out and just shoot them. It's run and gun. It's really effective. I could clear control points in heroic solo with this build. Is it the best build? Definitely not. It's a fun little different build that you could use if you're tired of like shooting the gun from cover or using skills. This is like more up close. When those guys that have like shields that charge at you, they're really annoying to fight with other builds, but this one, once they're in close range, just do some melee attacks. Like I said, if your Lady Death is fully buffed, you could hit pretty hard with this. The melee attack could hit around 1 million damage. For me, that's pretty big. Again, my SHD level is 486. Not really that high. I'm missing some stats here. Yours might be different. Anyways, that's about it. I'm gonna show some gameplay, and yeah. I'm regenerating my shield, went after the boss. As you can see, the buff down there is gone. I don't have my melee buff, but my melee attacks are pretty strong. I was able to hit like 900,000 there. I'm running, trying to find enemies. Found a gun. The melee attack buff from Bloody Knuckles doesn't really work against like mechs, just human enemies. Here I have the buff. I shoot this guy at the back. I keep on running because like that's how you get the Lady Death buff. And you get a movement speed buff when you're using this weapon, so you run a little bit faster. Whip out your shield, remove the cooldown, put the buff. I will zoom in, and as you can see, these are enemies that I elite. 340,000 damage. This one is like went through the head, 400,000 damage. But at this point, the buff from Lady Death is almost gone. Also, the seeing red is gone, so I decided to just like take cover here. You're not gonna die that fast with this build. You could like take a lot of shots because of the amount of armor you have. And it's always good to regenerate your shield as well. So again, you're running, whip your shield, take out the buff, put the buff, and then just shoot. Around 300,000 damage there. It's not fully buffed, I think. Now the enemy leader is out. I still have the buff. Now I think I will try to remove the cooldown. There, the cooldown is removed. I'm gonna put the buff again, and now I'm gonna shoot them. Keep moving because you want that Lady Death buff. That guy lagged a bit. And yeah, there we go. I think at this point we're just gonna go ahead and straight to the boss. There you go. He jumped. I did a melee attack there. Did a few shots, but these shots aren't buff with seeing red. This one removed the cooldown, that one put the buff. Now I'm shooting him, but without the Lady Death buff. So anyways, that is it. And let me just show you that, you know, this is like me fighting heavy. Did the buff, shoot at the backpack when it's down, just shoot at the head. You can see the damage there. It's pretty decent. If you're having problems clearing heroic, you know, you might want to try this one out. It doesn't really do a lot of damage compared to other builds, but it's different. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm curious to see what you guys came up with. You know, I mean, the combination of Lady Death and Bloody Knuckles seems to be like a common thing. I haven't really watched a bunch of YouTube videos, but I'm curious to see what you guys do. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.